Destroy your ego or you get destroyed by it. That's the purpose of today's video. I want to teach you how to get rid of your ego and how to reach superhuman status as quick as possible. And for that, I create something in my mirror and we will head into and let's start. Okay, here we are. We are in Mamaro. You can see this is the board. I prepared something. We will quickly run through it and I will explain you everything to get rid of your ego. But first of all, we start with a quote. Ego fuels the need for validation and recognition, distracting us from the actual work required for success. We become more focused on appearing productive rather than being productive, leading to inefficient time management. All of the people who are blaming about the government, who are blaming about girls, about boys, red pill, blue pill, black pill, I don't know what pill you are in. All of these people think they are good and everything around them is bad. And therefore they are better than them, they have the things, they do the things, but the other involved person doesn't. For example, a man who is frustrated about girls and has ego problems will say girls are bad. And he just does this because he comforts his ego. There is no other reason why he does it. And this had one problem. Because now he thinks the girls are the problems, but they aren't actually, because he has the problem. There are men who have no problem with girls, therefore he has the problem with girls, and therefore it's his problem. But because of his ego, he thinks that he has the things that will take him to success, but someone holds him back. But that's actually not true. And that's the ego problem. Then they think, oh, girls are bad, and oh, my co-workers are bad, or oh, my mother is bad, or oh, no. Actually, no one is really bad. Everyone does something with intent. And everyone has a reason to do something. And maybe, if you are this guy who is always blaming and is on these dating websites and is always scouting girls and always saying, oh, that's a bitch and the girl has to cook and all of that crap, then maybe it's your fault. Maybe you have to work on yourself. Because, oh wonder, there are people who have no problem with that. And that's what I see. I see this in the whole marketplace, in my niche, in the health niche. All of these people want to get healthy, but they don't actually want to. They want to talk about health, but they don't want to be actually healthy. And that's a big problem. That's a problem we need to fix. And therefore we need to fix our ego. So keep in mind, if there is a person who has the thing you want and you are blaming about others because you don't have it, then it's your problem. Because there are people who have it. And oh wonder, they didn't blame. They just said, well, it's my fault, I need to work on this, I have to do this. They segregated their ego. They didn't say, yeah, or if this, or if that, or if no. They just say the things they need and they do it. And the person with ego just says the things they don't have and find someone to blame for. And that is obviously wrong. And here are the power of ego. Obviously, you have ego because then you are resistant to criticism. Pretty simple. when you have a high ego and when you think you are better than other people and you get critique, then you have this barrier, you have this coping mechanism of having high ego. For example, when you have a shitty program, I see this in my market space a lot, people who scam, they fly to Dubai, buy one Lamborghini for one day, drive this, and then they make 20 shorts to tell everyone how rich they are and how much money they have and how wonderful they look like, with filters, by the way. And they do this because they can't resist criticism in a proper way. And I tell this to you, people who actually iterate based on criticism, they went far, far further than the other one. Just a quick reminder. It's a survival mechanism. It's connected to this here, pretty simple, because when you now resist to criticism, you don't feel segregated from other. Think of this. You are one person who does the following. Especially in business, you have this. And there are now 20 people in your friend group who blame you. What now happens is you feel lonely because no one follows you and your path, and no one actually thinks you can do it. And what happens when you get rid of your people thousands of years before? When you have these groups of people who go hunting and who are warriors together, what do? Well, you think you die. Your body thinks you die. But now with ego, you don't feel lonely because now you comfort yourself because you think that's right, and you do create imagination. With your imagination, a potential connection, but actually this connection isn't there. Then pain avoidance. Obviously, when you think you die, you avoid pain, and the unwillingness to acknowledge your weaknesses. Ego is literally that here. Ego is the unwillingness to acknowledge your weaknesses. You are unwilling to acknowledge your weaknesses, therefore you resist to criticism, therefore you activate this primitive pain avoidance mechanism, and therefore you think you will not die. But that's stupid. Should I tell you the weakness of ego? After that you might want to delete it. So, ego prevents us from personal growth. If you have ego, you are constantly stagnant because you don't take the action, and the action are the only things that actually make the change. Not the things you say, the things you do. And with ego, you only say things. So people who always fake it until they make it and always tell shit before they actually have it, they have ego problems, and you need to recognize this because A, you don't want to be in their friend group, you don't want to be in their environment. That's what you don't want. And B, you want to grow, and your body has now conflict. You feel bad about yourself, but you can't get rid of this. I can explain this to you. This is a loop. You get blame, then you have ego, you protect, and here's the growth. But instead of choosing this here and growing, you choose blame, protect, blame, protect, blame, protect, and you don't iterate based on your blame or criticism. The only way you can make a change and the only way you get rid of your ego is to accept that you are not perfect. No one is perfect. Elon Musk is not perfect. The healthiest man in the world is not perfect. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is not perfect. Shakira is not perfect. No one is perfect. No one. So, you want to grow and you want to get rid of this protect-blame circle. Therefore, you need to accept what you have. So, it also prevents us from stress reduction because of this loop. You constantly are stressed. Then it prevents us from strength and time management, because of this here you spend so much time of reflection for no reason, so much time, so much hours, so much energy for stupid things that don't actually make a difference. And it prevents us from consciousness. Consciousness is literally the power to change and the ability to grow. Because when you are conscious about the things you do, you want to grow. Obviously, every human being wants to grow. We have this survival of the fittest mechanism, of the fittest, and with that we want to grow. That is so bloody simple. So, how to get rid of this? That's pretty easy. I told this to you. You can choose what you want. You can choose to be ego, or you can choose to do the things. That means to work on your goal. Both of these scenarios are the same. In this scene, you think you are the best and you're better than the crowd. You protect your ego. In this one, you are better than your crowd and you think that you are better. You protect your ego. Both are the same. Being ego is talking. This here is doing. But now the difference is, this here is fake and this here is real. Here you are just faking it. You are just talking. In this here you are actually doing the work, and people actually think too that you have not this big ego problems. And here you create this bond, and you don't even realize that people talk shit about you, that people actually don't trust you, don't believe in you, and actually don't like you. But here you have the strong connection, the strong relationship bond. So, do it. Don't protect your ego. Check your ego at the door. The ego can be the great success inhibitor. It can kill opportunities and it can kill success. Dwayne Rock Johnson. I have this here for you. You have ego and you have eco. I drew this animal style. Here you see something like a pyramid of. Here you see something like an animal pyramid. Humans at top, after that bigger animals, then tiny animals, and then the tiniest animals. And we as human beings tend to see us as the biggest of all. But what does this actually do? Nothing. It just comforts us and it just leads us no way to grow. So if you want to improve in your health, in your relationships, or in your wealth, so if you want to get financially free, or if you want to get a strong body, or if you want to just have nice relationships, build a family, or do all this stuff, it's your life, then you must think of your whole environment as your comrades. Every human being is the same, just with different skills, and you need to work on yourself to achieve the things you want to achieve, and you need to put in the work. There are always people who actually have the things you want, and they did something. They didn't say they have it, they did it to achieve it. And there's no reason why you can't do it too. So, here is how to get rid of your ego in a simple way. Ask yourself, do you have ego? Yes, you are one. Do you have ego? No, you are one. We as human beings are egos anyways, but we are in a scale. You need to see it. Here's ego and here is eco. And most of the human beings are in this span, in the 75 to 100 ego span. But we want to try to get around this here, 0 to 50 ego. And we do this by reflecting ourselves. Ego is the way to decline and the way to literally die. And eco is the way to grow and the way to reach superhuman. And for this, we just do one simple thing, and I have one simple task for you that you can do right now to get rid of your ego. But you need to be honest with yourself. That's the number one thing. Why do I feel better when I say the following? For example, why do I feel better when I say, oh, girls are all the same? Why do I say girls are all the same? For example, maybe you said this because you have bad experience. Why do I have bad experience? Maybe I had bad childhood or bad perception of girls. Cause, I don't know, I had no real girl mother figure in my family. I had a lot of miseries with girls. And then you dig deeper. Why you had this? Yeah, because of my childhood or because of past experience, and then you have it. And then you know exactly what the cause of your ego is. When you now see someone out there who tells you, oh, all girls are the same, or the black pill is good, or the red pill is good, these people all do this to protect their ego. It's simpler, obviously, but it won't get them anywhere. It is just an opinion that is so stupid that no one should follow this. But a lot of people have ego problems, and therefore a lot of things will exist in the future. That's why red pill will not die. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I can get at least one to get rid of his ego or her ego. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.